Justin's gonna run us through what we did to get this pipe on this bike.
If you're here because you have a Triumph Street Triple RS from 2023 forward, then you've got a Euro 5 bike with a full welded system on the exhaust, which means you cannot put a slip-on easily on your bike with the mid-pipe. You have to do a full exhaust system. So what I did here to solve and get around that problem was I went on eBay. I brought myself up onto eBay and I found a nice gentleman in the UK selling a pair of headers from a 2020 Street Triple RS. They weren't in awful condition. They didn't look sexy though. So if you want to check out the videos up here, or the video up here, you can see where Bugsy and I clean those puppies up. So here's what I did, and here's what you can do if you have a Street Triple and you want to replace your headers. If you've got any other bike, I can't help you, but here's the process. First, you drop your belly pan if you got the RS model. There's 2 screws right here, Allen number 5s on either side, and then there's rubber grommets and it just slides forward. Once dropped, you go get your 12mm wrench and you remove your 6 header bolts right across the range.
Wait a minute, I don't need to be doing close-ups.
No, but we can keep going. So come over here. Then once that's done, once you get all those bolts cracked, you want to come over and be super duper careful about what you can't really see right now, but your O2 sensor. And Bugsy's got some close-ups, so there's an O2 sensor right there. Caveat with the O2 sensor, it connects right here. This is where your O2 sensor connects from your pipe to your actual ECU or your wiring harness.
That was so hard to get off.
This is very difficult to get off. Be careful because there's 3 clips on either side, and if they snap, you're screwed. The reason why you have to take that off is when you start to unscrew your O2 sensor, you're going to be coiling your wire. And the more you coil your wire, the higher chances you have of actually breaking your sensor. So when this clip is off, it's free floating, and you'll see we show how we did it anyway. You can kind of walk the wire around and get that all clean. Don't take it out just yet because you don't want to bang it, but you do want to take it out in like 2 seconds. So you'll also have your ugly...
What do you mean take it out?
The O2 sensor.
Take it out?
Loosen it, but leave it in.
Like, don't...
The process is this: before you even look at your O2 sensor, take the harness out of the unclip from the wiring harness. Then take your 17mm wrench and just crack it and walk away. Okay? Then you move to here, and there's going to be 2 12mm bolts. They're gone now because the box is gone, but it's there. Bugsy will show you. Anyway, loosen those, but don't take them out because you'll make the mistake that I did. You don't want to make the mistake I did. And then if you come on over to this section, you've got 1 more 12mm bolt that holds the actual silencer on. Again, it's a welded system, but this is just the last point. You want to crack that 12, and again, don't take it out because you'll do what I did. Insert what happened.
So those are what Justin was just... Whoa!
Okay, you get that?
Yeah.
All right. I didn't think that was going to come down so easily. Oh well, good thing we took
down.
that O2 sensor out. I pulled all the nuts out like an idiot. Thank God I actually took the O2 sensor out though, because when I removed this, because your headers are angled down at about a 45-degree angle at the front of the engine, they don't hang there at all on anything. So as soon as you remove these, the whole header system and welded muffler system fell and smashed into the ground.
Nice.
Anyway,
Nice.
nothing was really hurt, and I don't care because I'm never going to ever even look at that piece again. We're going to hang it from the ceiling in the shed and just call it done. So that's how you remove everything. If you want to put everything back on, you do it in the reverse order. Whether or not you've got the Arrow Veloce system, I don't know, but slip-ons will be the same way, where you want to get your headers on finger tight so that they can hang. So when you reinstall your header, reinstall, but don't tighten everything up because you need some play in your system to move around when you fit whatever your new pipe is. Once the headers are on there and they're hanging finger tight, then just follow your manufacturer's instructions. Follow the installation instructions from your manufacturer for whatever pipe you got, whether it's an SC Project or Zard or an Abracadabra kick. Whatever you get, it doesn't really matter. One other thing to remember is you're going to want to get the correct exhaust gasket, the 3 correct exhaust gaskets, and don't reuse your smashed out copper ones because they were there and they fit on your old header or they fit on your current header that you might be reusing, but you want them to seat right, so get those. And I can throw a link here where the parts were. We can put it in the description of where I bought parts that weren't related to the actual header that I got on eBay. I'll even drop a part for where I bought the Arrow can. But that's it. So, you know, it's not a difficult thing to do. The hardest thing is going to be finding headers. If you buy them directly from Triumph, you're looking at like $900. If you get them on eBay, you'll be in like the $300 to $400 range, depending on the condition and what shipping costs. So my full setup was probably about $850. Buying used headers, shining them up myself, and then throwing on a new can with mid-pipe from Arrow. Had I done the full Arrow system, it would have been about $1,500, but there's no tunes out here right yet for these bikes. Meaning that if you put a full system on and it's not a homologated system, you're not going to have a cat in your pipes and you're going to burn your engine up, or it's going to run awful.
And I think that's illegal in Massachusetts.
It's illegal to not run a cat, yeah.
So it was like $850. How much time do you think it took?
Took about a half hour to clean up the headers, and then probably about 4 hours for me to actually work with Bugsy on getting the system set up, but I was working real slow because I was scared of breaking anything.
And we were recording.
So that always takes longer because you got to do everything twice. So it's probably start to finish. If you're going to clean headers up, I'd say 2.5 hours. And if you were going to buy a full system without cleaning headers, anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, depending on how comfortable you are with, you know, setting up an exhaust system and doing that. I'm ready to see how this stacks up.
See with your ears, dude.
See with the ear balls. Here we go. Here is cold start on the 2024 Street Triple with the stock Euro 5 exhaust system. I'm gonna give it a second to purr and percolate before I start blipping it. But we're running a vintage Radio Shack realistic decibel monitor over here. We're at 1600 RPM, is basically like 80 decibels. Bring this baby up to about 3,000. You can see what it does on the meter. Probably not that impressive. I'm gonna bring it up to 7. All right, and now I'm gonna blip her. All right, so we get to see what that comparison looks like on the decibel meter. Give it a second. I'm just going to give it a second to settle in on the cold start. I would be willing to bet that we have to up that to at least 120 decibel floor. So I'm going to do that right now. Because even the stock system, when blipped, went to +6 over 90, which was 96. So that's probably not going to pick up on idle, but I'm just going to do the same comparison again because it is significantly louder. I'm going to do 3,000, 7,000, and then a blip. Ready? 3,000 at a 120 decibel scale. And now 7,000 at the 120 decibel scale. And now we're going to blip it at the 120 decibel scale. And that's it. I'm psyched on it.
That's it. Our neighbors hate us.
No, they don't. It's fine. People are doing yard work. It sounds good, though. All right. So want to do a flyby comparison?
Yeah.
All right.
So, do you think that you got going as fast as you wanted to because there was a walker?
Yeah, no. I think the first pass I went 70 and fourth past you, but this was like 65. I probably passed you going about 65, but I did like 70 on the whole pass. It doesn't matter. It's louder, dude.
Do you want to do it again?
No, I don't want to do it again because the neighbors are going to get pissed.
The neighbors didn't even look up. Mostly the guy walking looked annoyed.
Yeah, he definitely looked annoyed, but I don't want to be an asshole. I mean, I think we got a good comparison.
Okay.
Is it not louder?
No, it's louder.
Yeah, so I think we're good.
Okay.
All right, so you ride it. You got to ride it. Bugsy's got to ride this.
Later when we're riding.
No, ride right now.
No.
Just do that. I want to do a blip, but you do it. So we're about to go take a rip, first rip with our actual ride. I'm going to take a ride. Just going to say one final reminder for everybody. Once you're done putting your can on and doing all that sexy work, make sure that you do the adaptive Triumph ECU tune, which is starting the bike, not touching the throttle or anything.
Don't touch that throttle.
Don't touch that throttle, even though you're going to want to blip it. You got to wait. You got to wait. Practice self-control. Anyway, let it idle until your fan comes on. And then I set a timer for 15 minutes and let the bike idle for another 15. Shut it off with the key. let it relax for a second, and that is supposed to reset all your adaptive ECU fueling logs. But you can probably hop on about 3 different forums and get yelled at for even talking about that. So do you. We're going to go for a ride now for the first time with this new exhaust. See you there.
Let's go. I'm excited to hear it from the road.
Oh, it's going to be ripper.
Let's go. That's it, our neighbors hate us.
No.